announce the lab tour. So here's my lab. Got a bunch of equipment here. Let's start off with these computers. These are sort of old and semi-defunct computers. These computers are actually for my computer security research. I actually have a group of students who want to look at attacking networks, look at attacking computer networks, and so I'm going to have them work on this. This will be a network, and they will attack it and try to defend it and see if they can do that. So that's what those are for. This is just a computer. Over here, we have some of the stuff that I use for hardware design. So I've got, let's see, a soldering iron. Start with that. Soldering iron is used to solder together pieces of metal when we're building a system, and this is a cleaner for the iron. I've got my oscilloscope. Oscilloscope is a diagnostic tool. It's used to tell you the value of certain signals, certain waveforms. So if you want to see the voltage of a signal over time, you connect this up, and this is the ground, and you can see the voltage of the signal over time on this screen. So I use that a lot. Got a multimeter. I use this even more. Multimeter is basically just a device, has two probes, and allows you to see the voltage, current, and resistance between the 2 points. So you can touch these two probes to different points in the circuit and see the voltage between them. Got a microscope. This is for working with small devices. So sometimes I'm looking at small printed circuit boards. Things are designed very compactly. So in order to desolder them and work with them properly, I need a magnifying glass or even better yet, this is actually better than a magnifying glass. It's got a light on it to give me good visualization of the component. Random parts, solder and snips and desoldering wick and so on. This is actually a mixed power supply and multimeter together, so a controlled power supply multimeter. I don't use it too much, but it's very useful. This is just a crimping tool to crimp terminals onto the end of wires. This right here is a project I'm sort of working on still. Is a quadcopter, or a defunct quadcopter. It's got 4 motors, 4 actuators, 4 ESCs, electronic speed controllers. These control the speed of the motors. This is the control of the main flight controller for it. So this flight controller sends data to these ESCs to indicate what speed the motor should go at. This is the battery right here. This is maybe half the weight of the whole device. Then over here I have my turntable, one of my turntables. So it's an old dirty turntable, and it doesn't work right now. And since I have a lab, I feel like, why not fix it? I need to solder something together. Actually, this board, this is actually what's wrong right here. That needs to be resoldered. The board is decayed. And this is the turntable, the platter that goes on top of it once it's repaired. Over here, I just have a box of soldering irons and things like that, tools that I use for my classes. So when I have a class and I wanted to solder, I just bring this whole box over to the class, and everybody has a component to work with. So over here, we have lots of different parts stacked up here, all kinds of different components, wires, every wire and cable you could probably ever need, I have somewhere in here. Programmers for programming microcontrollers, wire. These are my portable cases, so when I'm on the run to a class or something like that, I put stuff in this and carry it off. Duct tape is always good. You always need that. What do I have? More equipment over here. Piles of resistors, all sizes and shapes and all that. Power supplies. Here we have Raspberry Pi, so we'll be seeing this in the class eventually. Let's take a look. Here we go. That is a Raspberry Pi Model B. This is basically what we'll probably be working with. Maybe this is the right way. Yeah, this is the right way. The wording is right up this way. So this is a Raspberry Pi, and we'll work with those. Also Arduinos. I got those too in my Arduino case. Put that over there. Here's one. It's not a brand new one, but they all work the same pretty much. That's an Arduino Uno. Actually, this is a shield for an Arduino. We'll talk about those too. It stacks. And notice it's the same size and configuration. You can stack it on top. This is an Ethernet shield, so this is an old Ethernet shield, but if you want to connect this to the Ethernet, you do that. And variety of components, and that's it. Thank you.